Pollock to Fleming. All runs. There's the first run. We can have a look at that again. Fleming facing. Stopped in the covers.
Richie, you were a successful Australian captain. What's your advice to potential captains?
A good captain is one who's 2 overs ahead of the play. He also has the common sense to know that he might as well take the credit for what goes right, because no one else will take the blame for anything that goes wrong. That's the first boundary for Pollock, the bowl to Sinclair. Pollock to Sinclair.
Yeah.
He's not a good judge of a run, is he? That's the first runs of the day for Sinclair. Fleming facing. And that's out.
That's the early wicket they were looking for. Now,
This was how the wicket fell. Harris is the next man. And Tinney, the bowl to Harris. If he runs here, Rudolph is not going to reach that. Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Harris waiting at the striker's end.
Yeah.
That's the first boundary for and Tinney to bowl to Sinclair. And Tinney and the batsman in trouble with that one. Sinclair waiting at the striker's end.
Yeah.
Amazing captain.
that was a lazy shot.
This was the end of the innings for Sinclair. The next man in is Tinney to Astol. Two bowlers have now been used by Smith. Harris is now facing. Hall is chasing that one, played into the gap. A shot, he found the gap with precision.
He gave the batsman too much room.
Let's see the action replay of that. Pollock continues. Pollock at the start of his run-up. Swept away. That's racing away to the square leg boundary.
He dispatched that for 4.
Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Harris facing. That is an excellent shot by Harris. We can have a look at that again. Pollock continues. That's pierced the leg side field. Astol waiting at the striker's end. Stopped by Smith. And the end of the over.
New Zealand are really taking the attack up to the bowlers and the...
And Tini to Harris. Hall is after it. A cracking stroke. He swept that away for... Let's see the action replay of that. Harris facing. There it goes. Prince got it long off. And Tini, the ball to Astol. And Tini continues. Hit straight at Rudolph. And Tini continues. Astol facing. Just one run. 6 runs were picked up from that over by Astol. Hall, the ball to Astol. Hit straight to a fielder. Astol waiting at the striker's end. If he runs here, that's cleared the rope. 6 runs. Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Hall to Astol. Astol waiting at the striker's end. Batsman will have to be more careful now, having got away with that. That's the first boundary for Astol. Hall to Harris. Steered expertly into the gap. Hall, the ball to Astol. Five overs are left in the innings. These two have Harris facing.
Awful judgment by the batsman there. You have to be certain when you elect not to play a stroke.
Rudolph, this was the end of the innings for Harris. Macmillan comes in. Rudolph, the bowler's wrist spin. Stopped in the covers. Rudolph, the bowler's leg spin. Rudolph got him.
Great bowling there, perhaps a bit of extra pace. And
This was how the wicket fell. Oram is the new batsman for Rudolph to Oram. That's a big appeal. And the umpire's given it.
a difficult decision for the umpire there.
Rudolph gets his third wicket. This was how the wicket fell. The next batsman in is a right-handed Cairns. Rudolph on a hat-trick. Rudolph to bowl his leg spin. Astol is now on strike. Hall continues. That's good bowling. Astol facing. Astol waiting at the striker's end. Stopped by Cullis. Hall to bowl to Astol. Hall, and the batsman in trouble with that one. Hall continues. That's the first boundary for Astol. 3. Rudolph to begin a new over. There it goes. Prince is underneath it and takes it comfortably. Let's see the action replay of that. Rudolph, the bowl is wrist spin. That's straight up in the air. A good catch from Prince.
That was moving pretty quick.
This was how the innings ended for McCullum. Vettori to face the hat-trick ball. Hit straight to a fielder. They're only Vettori waiting at the striker's end. Hit straight at Pollock. Rudolph to bowl to Vettori. That was a cracking delivery from Rudolph. They have Rudolph to bowl his wrist spin. And the end of the over. Cairns to face an over of spin. A single to Cairns. Boyer to Vettori. There are Vettori facing. Oh, big shout for that one. And the umpire's given it.
That was a good decision, Mark.
This was how the wicket fell. The next batsman in, Boyer to bowl to Tuffy. That's the first runs of the day. Cairns facing. Just one run. Tuffy waiting at the striker's end. He's got it into the gap. There's just one there. One. Cullis to start another over of this long spell. They have two. Cullis to Tuffy. Stopped by Boyer. There are only two. Tuffy waiting at the striker's end. Boucher is in pursuit. Well, that's found the gap in the field. Tuffy is set. Cullis to bowl to Cairns. Stroke through the covers. Cullis gets his foot. Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Bond is Cullis to Bond. There it goes. Paul is after that one. It was really well judged. It went a long way up. Astol is chasing that one. Cracking stroke. Bond is headed straight. Let's see the action replay of that. Gibbs facing. Stopped in the covers. So they need 40. Gibbs waiting at the striker's end. Hit straight at Fleming. South Africa. Bond to Gibbs. It's straight to a fielder. Bond to bowl to Gibbs. In the air and gone.
That was a really good effort by the fielder. He did well to cling on to it.
Okay, this was how the wicket fell. The next batsman in is right-handed Cullis. Cullis facing. That's over the rope. 6 runs off on Cullis. We can have a look at that again. Smith is now facing. Stopped by Fleming. 36. Tuffy to bowl to Smith.
Yeah.
And that's out. Caught by Vettori.
That was a loose shot.
This was the end of the innings for Smith. The new batsman is left-handed Rudolph. Rudolph facing. It's straight at Fleming. 36. Tuffy to Rudolph. It's straight to a fielder. Rudolph waiting at the striker's end. That's out. Caught.
It might have looked easy, but it wasn't.
Could we just take a look at that in slow motion? Dippenar comes in at Dippenar facing. Play it away with comfort. Just 1 run, a very good over. Only 1 off it in the end. The required Bond to Dippenar. Stopped in the covers. Bond continues. And that's out. Caught by Vettori.
Well, he just picked the fielder out perfectly. That shot. Oh, what a catch. He got into great position to take that catch.
Bond gets his 2nd wicket. This was how the wicket fell. Prince is the new batsman for South. Bond continues. Stopped in the covers. Prince waiting at the striker's end. It's straight to a fielder. Bond to bowl to Prince. stopped by Fleming. They have 6 wickets in. Bond continues. Hit straight at Fleming. The required run rate is around 5 and over. There's a change in the Cullis to face an over of spin. Vettori gets his first wicket. This was how the innings ended for Cullis. Hall is the Hall waiting at the striker's end.
Total misjudgment there. He was off balance as he went to take it.
Vettori to Hall. Hit straight to a fielder. Hall facing. That's Vettori to bowl to Hall. Stopped by Bond. South Hall facing. Hit straight at Bond. South Africa require Vettori to Hall. Oram is in pursuit. Oh, that's a really superb shot. Hit. Let's see the action replay of that. Here comes the Prince waiting at the striker's end. Stopped in the covers. Prince waiting at the striker's end. Comfortably held by Tuffy.
Well taken. You never look like dropping.
This was how the wicket fell. The next batsman is Boucher. Oram to bowl to Boucher. Hit straight to a fielder. Oram to bowl to Boucher. Hit straight at Fleming. Boucher facing. Stopped by Fleming. Oram to Boucher. Stopped in the covers. Oram has only one over left now. Vettori to begin a new over. Sinclair is chasing that one. Play it away with comfort. Shot. That is beautiful play. That square drive was hit with some... Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Hall waiting at the striker's end. Wide. Vettori continues. That's Vettori to bowl to Hall. He's worked that into the gap. Fielded down at fine leg by Tuffy. Another run to Hall. Boucher facing. Whipped down to fine leg. Fielded down at fine leg by Tuffy. An easy single there to Vettori continues. Hit straight to a fielder. Vettori to Hall. Stopped in the covers. 22 runs. Hall waiting at the striker's end. Great shot by Hall.
That's not the right line to bowl to this batsman. He'll punish anything.
We can have a look at that again. Boucher is now facing. But this was the end of the innings for Boucher. The next batsman in is Oram continues. Comfortably held by Tuffy.
Well done, the fieldsman. He really backed up the bowler's effort.
What a superb catch that is.
Very safely taken. Soft hands.
This was how the wicket fell. The new batsman at Boyer to face the hat-trick ball. Hit straight at Fleming. South Africa more or less need a run of ball now. Oram to bowl to Boyer. That's a big hit. It's 6. Well, let's see the action replay of that. Oram continues.
Yeah.
Well taken.
For those of you watching at home, that's a good example of how to take it.
This was how the wicket fell. And Tini is the new... And Tini facing. Stopped by Fleming. 6 runs came from that over for South Africa. The required run rate is around 4 and over.
The captain shouldn't really use up all of his best bowlers' overs at such an early...
Here comes Tuffy at the start of his run-up. Stopped in the covers, so they need 12 to... Hall facing. Sinclair is after it, played into the gap. Speeding boundary.
The bowler put them.
Let's take a look at that in slow motion. Tuffy to Hall.
Yeah.
Brilliant catch.
That was a lazy shot. Didn't get over it at all.
Safely taken by Horton.
Made it look easy, but it wasn't.
South Africa look very disappointed with that result. So, to sum up then, New Zealand win by 7 runs. Thanks for joining us for today's play. We very much look forward to your company at the next match.